Hello friends, welcome to a new video. We're starting the shower. Well, actually I don't know if this is a new video because we framed the shower. Now we are ready to move on to building the shower. I just spent 2 years of my life in Lowe's going back and forth. I grabbed all this crap for the Curdy board system, and if you know anything about Curdy board, it's like this Schluter system. It's orange. Stupid expensive, like so expensive. The backer board sheets are like $35 and they're smaller than the boards that I used in the bus called Go Board by Johns Manfield basically. Those boards are bigger and they're like $20. So then they have like a shower pan kit that's like $119, a drain that's then like another $60, and just a bunch of stuff that makes putting together a shower super easy, but not easy at the same time, and very expensive. With their system, you use their sealant, you screw in stuff, you use their seam covering with thin set mortar, and I was gonna do all of that, and then I was just like, honestly, in the bus, I didn't do half of that. I put the Go board in, I screwed it in with regular cement boards, and then I put some sealant over the screw holes and the seams, and I red guarded, and I called it a day. Like, I didn't put any seam tape. I had a shower pan, so it was a little bit easier. I didn't have to make a shower pan, and I put like a weatherproofing strip, so that way if anything got behind the tile on the, or behind the backer board, it would fall into the shower pan, whatever. But that was like so much easier, way less complicated, way less expensive. Like if I would have bought all the stuff for the Curdy system, it would have been like $600. So today I went in there and I bought the stuff that I used last time, and I spent $280. So I'm like, okay, is it a little more work? I have to make my own shower pan? Sure. But is it way less complicated? Yes. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to tile the floor. The rest is going to be micro cement. So micro cement is, I feel like, very similar consistency of mortar. Micro cement on top of everything is waterproof, and so when you put the micro cement on, it comes in one flat thing. There are no seams. Everything is connected into one piece. So I don't really feel like my seams need much more than what I don't even think I need seam tape, to be honest, but I might do it just to be a little extra cautious. And now that I'm filming this build and people might critique me on the internet, but since I'm using cement, I almost feel like I don't even need the seam tape because it fills in those seams anyways, but whatever. We are gonna work on just getting the walls covered in my Go board. This is what I was saying, it's very lightweight. I think each piece is like 8 pounds. It's a 3x5 piece. You just use a box cutter or a utility knife just to cut it. It's super easy. You screw it in with cement screws. You don't need anything special. They do make a sealant that you can use. It's the Go Board Pro sealant. It's compatible with it. I would just check your sealants because, you know, sometimes like there's properties that could dissolve the foam board. I don't know. So it's just to be safe. Grab their brand. And then start installing. So we're gonna work on this slanted side, this side. Oh, we gotta talk about this. We'll talk about this later. So let's start the process. Okay, so I didn't film this first piece. I'll film the next piece, but this is so easy, y'all. It's literally just a score and a snap. This is the other side. This is another piece I had to trim because I had to do an angle. But let me show you how it's gonna look once it's in here. So you just take cement boards, you screw it to the studs. I've got it nice and lined up with this corner seam here. I'll do a slanted piece for this side, this wall. This side I did pretty good. This middle part, it's a little bit spacier. Oh, hold on, let me put it back into place. And as you can see, I made a little mistake there, but the good news is that this is the first piece that goes in. The other piece actually screws in to this piece here and this piece here. So it's gonna lay over this seam a 1/2 inch. So you're actually not gonna see any of this till a 1/2 inch out. So that little mistake actually doesn't really matter in the hindsight of that. So yeah, okay, so I'm using 1 5/8 inch screws because I have a 1/2 inch backer board, and that's what it says on the screw box. If you have 1/2 inch, 1 5/8. So we just screw into the stud. I think Go board says every 6 inches. So and you screw them in until they are flush in the backer board. Luckily for me, my studs are already every 6 inches, so I'm good there. And then they also recommend every, around the edge, within a 1/2 inch to 1 inch from each edge. She's pretty solid, not going anywhere.
Oh, it's so cold. It's like 17 degrees out here. The windshield's like so frosted. I think my camera's lens is even frosted. Yikes. Anyways, we're getting started on the shower. The plan is to make lots of progress. I decided I'm gonna take this down and I'm gonna do the pan first, and then I'm gonna do this. It took me a minute to figure out what I'm gonna do with the pan, but I'm gonna use the Curdy board shower pan set. So I went and got that from the store, but the first thing we need to do before we place that in here and cut it to size is figure out where the drain is gonna go. So I've already got underneath the van. I don't know if you guys see my breath. I already got under the van and did some measurements. So I've marked it off where I'm going to drill a little pilot hole. We're just gonna pray to God it works. So I've got my drill bit ready, my drill. We're gonna pilot hole it up. So I'll put you guys down here so you can see. Okay. Oh, please be right. Okay. Let's go underneath. And let's pray that came out in a spot that's good. Oh my God, it's so cold. I'm gonna turn the van on and the diesel heater on just after I'm done being down here, because I don't want to be down here with the exhaust. Oh no. Oh. Okay. It came out right here. I feel like it needs to be out a little bit more because it's a 4-inch thing and I don't want to hit these things. So I think if I pop it out about 2 inches, then we'll be good. But this is perfect clearance for like pipes and stuff to get down here. So if we just pop it out, even 1.5 inches, I think would be good, just to this part of the rib. So I'm gonna go do that now. Okay, I went and got the cutout for the hole for the drain. It's a quite large cutout. I need to go get a hole saw big enough. I think it's like 4.5 inches. But let me show you guys what it's gonna look like. So this is the template they give you for the hole. So I figured if I just line this up exactly where I cut that hole, because the stuff that I was trying to miss was about right here. So if I just line the top up with that and then cut this way, underneath I had all this space here, not to worry about running into anything. So I'm just gonna put the drain more towards the front of the shower, which is fine because the shower board I got is actually sloped. So it's sloped on all angles and you just trim it down. It's a 48 by 48 inch square, so like double the size of my shower, but you just cut it down. But anyways, all the sides are sloped towards the drain. So it doesn't actually matter where my drain's gonna be, even though my stuff, like my mixing valve and my shower head, is going to be here. It's okay that the drain's over here because everything's going to be sloped down into the drain anyways when I trim it out. So I need to run to Home Depot, or I mean Lowe's or Ace. Maybe I might go to Ace because it's a little closer. I might run there, grab the hole saw so we can cut this out. And while I'm gone, I'm gonna have the diesel heater on in here to start warming up, because everything that we're gonna do today is really gonna be inside the van. We're not running any of the pipes and stuff tonight or today. The plan really is to just get the thin set down, the subfloor down, all the walls in, run the plumbing for just the shower basically, and then like waterproof all the seams and stuff. So that's the plan, and I do need it warm in here for the thin set to kind of set and dry for most of the day. So the diesel heater will be kicking all day long, which is fine with me. So that's the plan for the van build today. So guys, we're back. I had to go to Home Depot. Ace didn't have it. I looked online. Lowe's didn't have it. Home Depot had it. 4.5 inches. This is the largest hole saw I've ever seen in my entire life. It's also $50. So I'm really annoyed that I couldn't go to Lowe's because I get % back, and I have like the credit card, so I get points, and then I get like money reward, like gift card back basically. So I'm kind of annoyed about that, but you know, it's the only place that had it, and you know, we got to move on, move forward. The other Lowe's on the other side of town, like 15 minutes away, had it, but I'm trying to get a lot done today, so I don't have time for that. So we got it. I'm gonna go underneath now again and just double check, and then we're gonna drill a 4.5 inch hole into the bottom of my van. Oh, and I was like double checking. I was like, no way. But the flange is really that big, and straight up on here it says cutout template for subfloor. See that? Boom. So this is the cutout. Here goes nothing. I just want to make sure we're lined up, that is exactly the middle. Oh, it would help, you know, if I turn this up. Through the wood. We got the subfloor out, or yeah. Now we need to cut through the actual floor. Almost there. Did my battery die? My battery died. What the heck? Ah! Alright, let's pause. Okay. Hi, Hancho. So, hi, Kyla. Hi. So, why the drill is charging, I took the measurements of the shower pan, and I figured I could start cutting that out, dry fitting it, so that way, once the drill's charged up, we've got this cut. We can finish cutting the hole. It's literally almost done. It's hanging on by 3 little pieces. But once that's done, then we can place the thin set down and then the shower pan down, and then we can start building up the walls. So we're gonna get this moving and grooving. All right, so here's the shower pan. Like I said, it's a 48 by 48. It's the cheapest one. They had like a 36 by 60, a 48 by like 90, but like this was the cheapest one. It was $119, just in case anyone's wondering. But it's sloped downward by 1/4 inch from the edges. At least I think. Hey guys, I'm actually an idiot. I
I measured the outer perimeter, not the angle coming down to the tray. So it's really hard to tell, but this space here gets narrow. So look, it's like 2 fingers, 2 fingers, 2 fingers, down to 1, down to like a fingernail. So this part is sloped, so we're okay. Okay, so now I've got to kind of draw out on my board my shower pan. Ay. My only issue I have to think this through. Let me figure this out. Okay, good news, I measured it correctly. So now we're gonna cut this last side. We're Gucci. I'm just like overthinking everything. I think I'm overthinking this because it's so expensive. But also, like, this is a big project. I shouldn't overthink every little thing. Here's our shower base. We just have to cut the slant that's over here. So we'll come back to this in a second. Let's go finish cutting out the hole. Okay, I went out and finished the hole, and I also measured so for the slant. So from the base, it starts slanting at 19 3/4, and from the wall, it starts slanting at 20. So I just put those dots there, and I made a nice little slant there because that's how I made it, the frame for it. And now I'm gonna just cut along the line I traced. Again, I made it slightly larger by like 2 millimeters, just in case my measuring is off. It gives me a little wiggle room. Okay. This looks like my shower, maybe a little bigger. But okay, so now we're gonna take this out. I'm gonna take the knife. We're gonna go dry fit it. Pray to God it fits. It should be slightly larger because like I said, I made it slightly larger, but hopefully it's pretty close. Okay, here we go. Ah! We are ready to figure out thin set mortar so we can put the shower pan in permanently, and then we can do the drain, and then we can do the walls, and then we can do the seams, and then the shower will be ready for micro cement. So I'm very excited about this. This is all coming so quickly. Okay. So we have it here. I need scissors, hold on. Okay, now I'm gonna put, oh great. It's already broken on the bottom, so maybe we just go from the bottom. Oh, shit is heavy. I feel like a little more. Do not recommend breathing that stuff in. Okay. I have no idea what I'm doing because I said I've never done this before, but I got this little mixing thing. So hopefully this is what I need. If not, we're just going with the flow. It said at a slow pace, so I'm gonna try my best. Look at that. I think that's pretty good. Okay, 10 minutes. Okay guys, we are done. I let it sit for 10 minutes and then I spun it again for 3 more minutes. And now I also, in that 10 minutes, I also cleaned the shower pan base, wiped it down, vacuum swept it, all the dust and stuff is up. So we're gonna install the shower pan first and the shower drain, and then we are gonna start on the walls. Once again, I have no idea what I'm doing. Did I watch videos on this? Kinda. Am I very much just kinda making it up? Sure am. All I know is I gotta slap a bunch of mortar down, put the pan on it, smush it down, step on it, make sure it's nice and secured all the way around. Then we're gonna do the drain, and then we're gonna do the walls. So that's all I know. So let's start with that. Okay, I honestly don't really know. I'll put you here for the first part so you can see what I'm doing. But again, do your own research. Okay. I'm gonna use a spatula. I use my spatula to put some on here. And basically, you use the flat side first, and then you notch it after you get good coverage. Okay. Honestly, putting the camera here is not gonna work. So I'm gonna spread it and then I'll show you guys. Okay, this is a hot mess, but I've got a smooth base. Now I'm gonna put some little notches in it, and then we're gonna put the shower pan down. Okay, this is what it looks like with the notches. Honestly, I have no idea what the notches do, but we did it. Okay, now pan time. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have a shower. Okay, the other thing is, this tiny piece on the pan broke, so I'm just gonna put that back on. Okay. I hope I put enough down. So for the drain, I now put a bunch of this stuff in again, I think, and I seal the drain, and then it's got a little waterproof membrane to go around it, which we're gonna have to cut slightly because where the drain is, this won't fit all the way. So I'm gonna read the directions again one more time though before I do this.
Enter the included curdy collar over the curdy drain.
Okay, I watched the instructions. We need to fill that whole gap with mortar. I think mine's a little too liquidy compared to their video, but it's fine. They said like peanut butter consistency. Mine's kind of peanut buttery. Anyways, we're gonna fill it with mortar, and then we're gonna place the drain in, and then we put the collar over, and then the pan is done, then we're moving to walls. Okay, so let's do that. So I had previously installed this wall. I'm gonna just have to trim this corner a little bit now that it's raised up about 1.5 inches. The seam still fits actually probably better than it did before. So I'm gonna screw this in and then take a X-Acto knife, whatever, box cutter to cut this. And then I also have the other side pretty much done. I just have to cut out the hole for the mixer and the top thing. And then we'll do the back, and then we'll work on finishing up the wall before we go back to our thin set mortar. Holy cow, I'm sweating. I'm gonna take off my hoodie. I've not cut the piece for the back yet, so we're gonna do that next, and then we're gonna work on these two upper pieces, and then the ceiling, and then we'll start doing seams and stuff. Okay, I got the back piece cut. I don't know if it fits yet. I just had to add some more framing on the bottom because the whole right side had like no studs. So the left side has a very small margin that I could easily miss. So we're gonna try not to miss it because I just don't want to have to add more framing there. So I'm gonna try and put this back board in. Let's see if I cut it correctly. Yes, it's a super tight fit, but that's exactly what I wanted. Well, guys, I'm a mess. The van is a mess. I am so thankful I did not do my floor yet. I did that in the bus, and I remember when I did the shower, I absolutely trashed my floor. Red guard everywhere, sealant everywhere, silicone. It was just not a good situation. So that's one thing I did right in the van that I learned from. Another thing is I did a shower pan in the bus, and I was like, I'm advanced now, I'll make my own. Yeah, no. Buy the shower pan. If you're wondering, buy the shower pan. I use the Curdy board shower pan system, which is fairly easy, but it's a whole mess. In the bus, the way I did the shower, put the shower pan, put the go board, use the go board sealant to cover the like screw holes, and then I red guarded the whole thing, and then I put the tile up. This, you have to fill all the seams with their like Curdy board membrane band stuff, and the way you put that on is with thin set. It's a whole mess, and I don't like it. And this was way more expensive. Actually, yes, it was actually, yeah, it was way more expensive. But anyways, I didn't film much of this process because I was really stressed, and when I'm stressed, I do not want to have the camera on. So I turned it off, because also the thin set I made earlier, it says it's good for like up to 5 hours. I was racing the clock here. I was racing the clock, and I got really frustrated because I forgot to run a wire behind the go board after I already put it up, so I had to take it down, unscrew it, take it all down, put it back up. It was just a whole thing. So let me show you what I did. Okay, here's the shower. We didn't finish. My goal was to finish today. We did not finish. So what are you gonna do? We just need to finish this upper area and around the shower niche. The niche is in, but it needs to be screwed in a little bit better. I would feel more comfortable with that. But other than that, everything's in. So again, to recap, we did the Curdy board shower pan system. It's sloped, so it's nice and easy to help it drain with their drain system. All in all, guys, the pan was $120, the drain was $70, so around $200 with tax to do the pan. Then my Go board, I used Go board rather than Curdy board just because it's the same thing, it's cheaper. I used it in the bus, I think it was fine. So I used Go board on the ceiling and the walls, but I used the Curdy board membrane band thing for the seams. So I covered all the seams, and you lay that down with the thin set also. So lots of thin set everywhere, but it's all pretty much waterproof now. I even did up here and all that. I literally just have this back thing, which is like kind of annoying, but it is what it is, right? So yeah, I'm really excited about this. Anyways, that's all we've got. Let me give you guys a better view of the shower. So yeah, all the seams, all the way around, thin set. I'm gonna sand all of this down where there's little ridges and stuff. So that way when I go ahead and put the micro cement, we already have like a smooth base. But yeah, it's looking really good. I'm really happy with the shower pan. That is like totally waterproofed. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, anyways, guys, I'm gonna call it a day. We'll pick back up on the shower another day, probably not tomorrow. But I'm gonna go inside. It's 8 o'clock. I haven't eaten. I'm tired. I'm cold. The other thing is, let me just share this too. It takes 12 total hours for the thin set to be like completely dry, and they say keep the temperature above 40 degrees. So it's cold here in Michigan. It was only 40 during the day. It drops to like 20 overnight. So what I'm going to do is I've got this little space heater going for now. I'm going to keep the space heater on until I go to bed. I just don't trust it overnight, and it doesn't keep it super warm in here. And then at night I'm going to come start the diesel heater and let that run. I don't have enough diesel to let this run like literally all night, so I might wake up at like 4 in the morning and come shut it off. By then it should be decently dry. I don't think it has to be above 40 for the whole 12 hours, just like the initial part. I think then I'll be fine. So yeah, that's a whole nother thing in itself too. So anyways, guys, good night, y'all. See y'all later.